I think depending on what kind of music you're into, or maybe even when you were born, these offsets can represent different things to different people. And for me, it's definitely a pop punk thing. Tom DeLonge's baritone for the song Obvious, 2016 Matt Skiba, Newfound Glory's guitarist who no one really talks about anymore. He had one in a couple of videos, I think a Tornado in Failure's Not Flattering. I'm struggling to think of any more on the spot, so please let me know down below other pop punk guitarists who use this kind of guitar. Anyway, I added this racing stripe and weirdly enough, it didn't make it sound any more punk rock. So today, I'm going to put slightly more effort into turning this into a pop punk machine. This guitar plays and feels so good. I'd honestly put it up against the Player Series from Fender any day. But for the sounds I'm looking for, these Jazzmaster style pickups, well, they're not for me. I need a high output humbucker. I need an Invader. However, I didn't quite realise how much the price of Invaders had risen since I last looked, and I'm not really up for putting in a pickup that costs almost the same price as this guitar. It doesn't really make much sense, so I thought it was a good opportunity to look into lower cost Invader alternatives. And the pickup I decided on was this Warman 12 gauge. It definitely looks like an Invader. Spec-wise, it does differ from the Seymour Duncan version slightly, but this was about £20 instead of £120, so I thought I'd give this a try. Now, obviously, this pickguard is made specifically for this guitar, so you can't just buy an off-the-shelf replacement. And the current one is cut for 2 Jazzmaster style pickups, a volume, a tone, a three-way, and an output jack. But I want a single humbucker, a single volume controller that's kind of placed out of the way, and an output jack. Luckily, my friend Andy was able to put me in touch with Tim from Gig.Ink, who make high-quality custom pickguards. So I sent him the original pickguard, and he was able to digitize it and reproduce a version that fits my needs. Just here. I've actually got 2 because I'm planning to do another, and I haven't decided on which version I'm going to use yet for this one, but you probably already know which one I chose from the thumbnail of this video. So the good news is that now if you have one of these JA60s, you'll be able to buy a direct replacement with whatever pickup or switching configuration you want in any colour or even custom artwork directly from Gig.Ink. I mentioned it recently in a Facebook group, and I think 1 or 2 people have already bought some custom plates from them. They really do high quality work, and I definitely recommend them. Okay, so electronic-wise, I just want a single volume and an output jack, just like my Tom DeLonge Strat. The Signature Fenders came with treble bleed circuits. I rarely use my volume control to change sounds. I use channel switching amps or presets, so I'm not going to bother with the treble bleed. Oh, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, a treble bleed circuit is basically a small mod on the volume pot where as you roll the volume down to clean up the sound, you retain more high end. Without the mod, you tend to lose high end as well as volume as you roll the volume control down, which can actually be useful to lose a bit of high end to let the vocals cut through more in a live setting, so I don't usually use them. So I've got this 500k full-size alpha potentiometer, switchcraft output jack and some cable, and that should be all I need, and a knob. Okay, so the table's set up. It's time to get these parts off, then get the soldering irons set up, and then to work. So I've got Dan and Mick here to keep me company. It's going to be a good day. I'm not even that into pedals, but that pedal show on a Monday, the live show, is just one of those ones that I just religiously watch. The film at night, Friday night, I usually watch it on the Saturday morning because it's usually like 10, 11 at night over here when he does it. That one. So there's a couple that I watch, and this is one of them. Not that you care, but just thought I'd let you know. I used to watch Andy's live show as well, his the one that he did with Dan, the Guitar Geek, Guitar Stories podcast. And then I was a guest on his show, and that was it. It was over. So I put an end to that. I was just checking what gauge strings this came with because most of mine are all like 12 to 56, but I've just found a set that are 10 to 48. So this originally came with 10 to 46, so shouldn't have any problem putting these on. So now that means that I can cut these strings. I don't have to save them because that is annoying trying to get to all this stuff with the strings on.
A bit more, yeah. because a normal pot noodle is like negative.
So now it's time to decide which pickguard. They've got this like pinkish layer of film over it, so they are more white than they look on the camera. But so it's between. So this looks a lot more pink than it really is. It's much more white. Is it too cliche? Whereas this one's still very pop punk, but not quite as. Who had the checkerboard signature? Was it Derek Whibley from Sum 41 or was it Avril? One of those two, I'm sure. Maybe even both of them had like a checker plate. Checker. Black and white squares. What's it called? Checkerboard. This is more subtle. We're not doing subtle here, we're doing pop punk. Do the checkerboard. But you knew that already, so why are you even listening to me? Oh, the cavity isn't deep enough for the screws of the humbucker. So I can either chisel some away. I don't have a router. Chisel some away. Might try drilling a couple of holes to give the screws the clearance it needs first. So I will need to go and find the drill. And yeah. Okay, so I've drilled out the wood, so now there's room for the humbuckers to fit. So you can see on this camera it's all sitting flush. Wasn't quite as easy as I was hoping for, but we did it, so let's carry on. And now for one of my least favourite things to do in the whole of guitar maintenance and modifications is soldering. I'm not very good at it, but if I can do it, you can definitely do it.
You probably wouldn't like this so much because it's super light sound. We'd filmed with him the week before. So excited to be here.
So before I screw it all back together, I'm gonna quickly check to see if it's working. It's working. There was never any doubt in my mind. So while I've got it here in this position, I might as well do some maintenance, get it all playing good. So let's do that.
Vibes here because an original 1952 Les Paul would look like this. Was like somebody took one of those, gave it a new flame top, and or you don't always find, but then they routed the P90s out for some.
And there we have it. It works. I plugged it all up and somehow it just works, and I'm quite surprised and I'm quite pleased. So I think it looks really, really good. It's come out exactly how I hoped it would. What do you think of it? What do you think? How do you think it looks? And how do you think it sounds? Let me know down below. I'll play some sounds now. Well, I think it's got the sound. This is exactly how I hoped it would be. Let's drop D it and see how that goes. And let's find out if he does leads. So let me know down below what you think of the sounds. Playing wasn't too good, but the sounds I thought weren't too bad. And obviously one thing we do want to know is, how does it compare to an original Tom DeLonge Strat from 2001? Well, I am going to answer that for you, but I need you to do me a favour. I need you to subscribe, because that will help me out loads and makes a huge difference to my channel. And secondly, you have to come back, because next week I will be comparing the two guitars. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.